Hello dear students, welcome in geography class. Let's start with the chapter number 4 and that is structure of ocean floor. First let's see what is ocean floor. Ocean floor is literally the floor of ocean. The landscape of the ocean floor is much like what we see on land. We know that the proportion of water and land is uneven on the earth. Around 71% of the surface is covered by water, but there is land even below this water. But like water, it is not at the same level. Students, when we see the water from the surface, we feel that the water is at the same level. Okay? It looks even from up. When we see from the shore, we feel that it is even, isn't it? But when we go below or when we reach on ocean floor, we come to know that there are so many discontinuities or the landforms under the water is not even. So totally about the ocean floor we are going to learn in this chapter. So beginning with the first, that is the relief of ocean floor. Now what is this relief of the ocean floor? What is this relief and the ocean floor? See children, in the picture on the screen you can see so many parts are there. Continental shelf, continental slope, abyssal plain, rift valley, marine deeps and trenches. All these things we are going to learn in detail. Land submerged below oceanic water is called the ocean floor. Now whatever land is under the oceanic water is known as the ocean floor. Okay. Now see in the picture various name or various labeling of the land which you see is underwater. So the whole thing is known as ocean floor. We have seen various landforms. Now when we talk about these various landforms, we know that they are not even. So we have mountains, we have valleys, we have hills, we have other things, we have small island which have come up. So the land is also not equal. And we also know that the proportion of water and land is uneven on the earth. Around 71% of the surface is covered by water. The relief of ocean floor is decided upon by the depth from the sea floor and the shape of the land there. Now see, there is a figure 4.2 in your textbook. If you see some pictures like this, it's of ocean relief. First thing which we are going to start with is continental shelf. Now see children, in the picture you can see the first thing towards your left is the continental shelf. Now what is continental shelf? The land near the coast and submerged under the sea is called continental shelf. Okay. Now as we stand on the coast and if you go near the water, immediately as the water starts, if you stand in the water, you will feel there is a land. Yes or no? So this land is known as the continental shelf. Again, I am repeating the definition of continental shelf is the land near the coast and submerged under the sea is called continental shelf. This is the shallowest part of the ocean bed. It is also called submerged coastline. Its slope is gentle. If you all have visited beach, you must have realized as the land finishes, as you enter the water, there is a land below water also. You are not floating in the water. If you stand, you can stand formally on the ground. So that immediate surface underwater is called continental shelf. It is also called submerged coastline, as it is just connected to the coastline. It is also known as submerged coastline. When you go inside the water, you feel that the land below the water is not equal. Sometimes your leg may go down. You may feel that it is uneven. Up and downs are there in the water. So that is exactly what continental shelf is. It is not uniform everywhere. Sometimes you find that this continental shelf are narrow, means small. They don't go or their extent is very small, limited. And sometimes you will find they are broad for hundreds of kilometers at others. Its depth is up to 200 meter below the sea level. Okay. See children, look in the picture. You can see it's 200 meters continental shelf. Children, let me tell you, this part of ocean floor is most useful to the man. Do you know why? Because as this part is shallow and this is able to receive sunlight, and we know that sunlight is main source in the growth of greeneries. So as this part is shallowest part, and due to which sunlight reaches its bed, and then algae, plankton, etc. grow here. And these algae, planktons are food for fishes, and fishes gather here in this area for food. Because of these, the continental shelf is also known as the paradise for fishing activity. Now children, if you all have been to the Alibag or Elephanta caves, okay, you must have seen that you have to go in the boat or in a ferry. Ferry means a boat carrying people to the other end of the sea. So this is the Arabian Sea, which is located at the coast of the Mumbai. You have to sit in the ferry or you have to go. So when you go through that route, you will see Mumbai High. That is the name of the place, the continental shelf, where the mineral oil, the natural gas is extracted from this continental shelf. This shows that the continental shelf is very useful for humans. Now children, see the second part, that is continental slope. Immediately after the continental shelf, you can see there is a slope moving downwards. That is the continental slope. Now what is continental slope? Students, you can see there is a steep slope immediate after continental shelf. After the extent of continental shelf is over, the slope of the seabed becomes steeper. This is called continental slope. Continental slope goes down till 3600 meters and depth of the slope is from 200 meter to 3600 meter. Now the continent boundaries are also marked in the ocean. So how they are marked? With the help of these continental slope. Because the lower boundary of the continental slope is considered to be the boundary of continents. Understood? Children, after continental shelf, there is a continental slope. Yes? Coming to the next is abyssal plain. Can you see the next abyssal plain? Suddenly, after the continental slope, the slope has become like a plain, or it is looking like a seabed. The abyssal plain consists of various submerged landforms like hills, plateaus, etc. This is the part where various landforms can be seen below the ocean, that is landforms like the hill, plateaus, etc. So what do you understand by abyssal plain? Beyond the continental slope lies the abyssal plain, which are the flat part of the seabed. Students, I hope you all have understood till here. Some like the hills and mountains which are see around us, they are also found underwater. That means the hills and mountains found on the ocean bed are called submerged hill and mountains. These hills are hundreds of kilometers wide and thousands of kilometers long. So when we talk about submerged hills and mountains, children, we come to know that these are the parts of the mountains which are visible above the sea level. In way, they are beneath in the sea level also. Some come above the sea level, so they are mainly known as the marine island. Students, as you know that the shipwreck when they strike against the rock in the ocean. These rocks are the top of the submerged hills and mountains. They are visible to us as marine island. Do you remember the incident of Titanic ship? Why did the Titanic sink? The immediate cause of the Titanic demise was a collision with an iceberg that caused the ocean liner to sink on April 14, 15, 1912. Iceland in the Atlantic Ocean, Andaman and Nicobar Island in the Bay of Bengal are the examples. The top or summit of some islands are flat and extensive. These are called submarine or oceanic plateau, like Chagos Plateau in the Indian Ocean. Moving to the next topic, and that is marine deeps and trenches. Some landforms on the ocean bed which are deep, narrow and steep, they are called marine deeps and trenches. Marine deeps are shallower ones while marine trenches are deeper ones and extending for longer distance. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the deepest trench in the world. The depth is around 11,034 meters. These areas are also earthquake-prone areas. The mid-oceanic submerged hills and marine trenches are geologically most active areas of ocean bed in the world, where volcanoes and earthquake takes place. As earthquakes and volcanic eruption occur in the ocean bed, it gives rise to tsunamis in the nearby coastal areas. Okay children, with this we completed the relief of ocean floor. Then the continental shelf, continental slope, abyssal plain, mountain ranges and plateaus, and marine deeps and marine trenches. Moving ahead, we will start with the next topic, and that is marine deposition. Various deposits are found in the marine beds. These deposits are perishable and non-perishable items like plants. Aquatic animals are perishable items, while conches and shells, chemicals, metals and plastics, glass are non-perishable items. The remains of perishable items will get deposited as marine ooze on the ocean bed. Students, oozes are basically deposits of soft mud on the ocean floor. Lava and ashes is also found here. Fine soil particles are deposited on large scale. Remains of marine plants and animals are mixed in these deposits, and this mixture is made up of fine particles and lies in the form of fine clay. These are called marine oozes. Non-perishable items creates pollution of sea coast and ocean water. We have to suggest measure to control deposition of non-perishable items on the coast, like plastic bags, glasses, containers must be prohibited on the sea coast. Always ensure to recycle plastics and other materials. Never throw any non-perishable items anywhere. Dispose them off properly in the dustbin. We have to run a campaign of environment conservation to keep the coast clean, like we shall take part in cleaning the coastal areas. We shall always make ourselves and others alert about the dangerous effect caused by non-perishable items. We shall always support organizations which help in controlling deposition of non-perishable items. Students, till here we have completed our chapter number 4. I hope you all have understood. Thank you.